These are 5 Ryobi tools that even the haters would love. The future's looking really bright for Ryobi. 2 of these are probably going to surprise you. First on the list is this Ryobi multi-head screwdriver kit. If you've seen one of my favorite drills, the Milwaukee 5-in-1 installation driver, this is like the mini-me version of that. That's why we call him Mini-Me.
I shall call him Mini-Me.
If you're not aware, over the last year or so, Ryobi's been coming out with some USB lithium tools, and this one's pretty cool. This is a multi-head screwdriver. This is electric. It runs off of their new USB lithium platform, and these are little batteries that you can charge with a USB-C. It's very convenient, very handy, especially if you travel, put it in a vehicle, camper, RV, etc. Nice little tool to have. And what I think this is really useful for is around the house, especially if the spouse orders maybe some IKEA style furniture that always needs put together. This might be the way to go. Now this battery will just pops right in the bottom of this, and then you're ready to roll after you get it charged, of course. This does have a light right there on the top just to give you a little bit of illumination inside a cabinet, but honestly, it's not that bright, so you probably won't use that much. But these heads do swap out. You do get an offset head, very similar to the Milwaukee offset head, and then you also get the 90-degree. This is one that's going to come in the handiest in the tight locations when you're trying to get up inside a drawer or up inside cabinets, any tight spaces like that, or if you just need to tighten screws and things like that. Now this is just the straight driver here. This is actually just a rubber cover that goes on there, it takes that off. Then you can put on any of these attachments. These will lock into place in a number of positions, just depends on which way you need it to go. That's pretty cool. And it also comes with a few driver bits to get you started. It does have the standard forward and reverse switch, just like most any other drill, except the installation driver from Milwaukee, which has push button, nice big paddle switch. It does come in a nice little hard plastic carry case. This is actually a really nice little case. Keeps everything nice and organized, has a spot for that battery as you saw earlier, or you could just keep it in there. Or if you have a spare battery, you could throw it right there and it snaps closed. On the back just gives you some information about this tool as well as telling you it has a 2-year limited warranty. Now this isn't going to break any torque records or anything like that. This is basically just an around the house screwdriver, so that it's basically an electric screwdriver with an angled handle, so you can tighten screws on, say, cabinet hinges, or even installing hinge pulls, etc., that kind of stuff, or putting small parts and pieces together like furniture, etc. Now it does drive a screw, but there is a brake there at the end that will stop it from overdriving or tearing itself up, most likely. It's not, again, not a very powerful driver, but just a handy thing to have if you just need to loosen and tighten screws, etc., especially in tight spaces, because it's such a small, compact design, and it has the offset head, and it has the 90-degree head. Just a handy little thing to have. You could put it in your shirt pocket if you wanted to. This would actually make a really good gift for the spouse to keep her out of your stuff. Just saying. Next up is the 18-volt work light. Now in the previous video I talked about 5 Ryobi tools that people would hate. I had a work light in there, and that one had a flexible neck on it where you could bend it and put it in position. This one is a little bit more unique in the fact that you can hang it in 2 different ways, or it will literally just stand up on its own using those 18-volt batteries you've probably already got, or should have anyway. Now on the top, it does have a flip out stowable hook that you can hang it from any position that you want up high. It also has one built into the base that will allow you to hang it in a different position should you need to hang it overhead or anything like that. Now this is, again, running off that 18-volt platform, and it is quite bright. If you turn it on, it shines pretty good. This is going to light up your workspace pretty good, especially, again, in tight spaces, attics, crawl spaces, inside the hood of a car, anything where you're going to need that extra light. Inside the workshop, if you just need to literally put a little light over the top of what you're working on. I'm getting older, folks, and when I start looking at things in dim light, I have a very hard time seeing it. This is super handy. And it has 4 different modes. It has a bright and a dim with both lights lit up. You push the button, it goes to dim. You push it again, it turns off this bottom light. So now when you fold it over the top of your workpiece like this, you have a place to work. This side light's not on, so it doesn't affect your vision, just the top light coming down. It's a very good feature, and that is also in bright and dim. And then of course when you push it one more time, it goes off, and you can store this away. Super flat packed, ready to go. Take the battery out. Literally weighs very little, like very, very little. The only weight's coming from the battery, should you leave it installed. This is one of those, if you're already on the Ryobi platform, you should probably just pick it up because it takes up minimal space and will be super handy to have when you need it. Next up is the Ryobi Speed Bench. Yes, I just did a very full detailed review on this thing, but it is fantastic. I thought I'd briefly mention it in this one before we move on. Now this thing folds up into a dolly, so you can use it around the house to move boxes or furniture or whatever you need to use. I think it holds 300 pounds in dolly mode, and then you can make it into workbench mode where it'll hold 400 pounds. I literally stacked 400 pounds of weight plates on top of this thing. If you're in a small garage workspace and you need some extra space just to like finish things or move them off your regular workbench, or if you don't have a workbench, you can move this in and out of the garage or shop or into the driveway so you can work on it. It can clamp on all four sides. It has a Ryobi link system, folds up into a compact space to move it out of the way. It's just a nice tool. I'll link to that at the end of this video so you can go watch the full review. I'm a huge fan of this speed bench. And speaking of fans, this is the new Ryobi 40 volt air cannon, as they call it. This thing is very cool. It's hybrid, so you can use either a cord or the battery, the 40 volt batteries. And with summer heat coming on, this may be the way to keep you cool while you're in the shop. All right, so this fan will tilt 180 degrees, so you can pretty much get any angle you want. It has 3 speed settings. Number 1 is kind of a light breeze, what it's on now. Barely hear it, a little bit of hum. Throw it on number 2, and then you got kind of a little between a breeze and a wind, right? Not bad. Number 3 is the air cannon. If I had flowing locks, it may blow it off. It has 6-inch wheels, so you roll it around wherever you need to. It also has a nice little handle there. They claim that it will run up to 34 hours of runtime on the battery, 6,300 CFM, if that means anything to you. Again, on that 40 volt, big old beefy batteries. Pretty nice fan. If you need to move some air around in your shop to keep you cool this summer, or if you go camping, tailgating, etc., you may want to check into this. The rigid fan, if you saw that review when I did it a while back, very similar fan. This one's a little more powerful than that one. Puts out a little bit more airflow, or quite a bit more airflow than the rigid. This should be available with the battery charger combo kit or a standalone tool. I'll put a link in the description and a pinned comment to all these tools, and there should be a product button right there on your screen you can click and check out. And speaking of the 40 volt, this is where I think Ryobi has leveled up their tool game, because they got me, okay? I'm kind of buying into this now. I just purchased these 2 surprising tools. First up is the Ryobi string trimmer. Now, I bought this because I was sick and tired of pulling, or watching my son pull and pull on the gas trimmer that seemed to always never start. I would literally have to go out and start it for him almost every time, and it would take time after time after time pulling on this thing to make it go. That's so frustrating, it makes me want to throw it every time. So I was like, just get a battery one. Which one are you gonna go with? Already got some Ryobi stuff? Go with Ryobi. And I think that's where a lot of people who walk into Home Depot, they're like, I've already got these Ryobi tools at home. I like them. I'm just going to pick this up. Ryobi has really upped their game in this area, especially in the 40 volt line. This string trimmer is very nice for the price. I think I paid about the same for my gas trimmer as I did this one. For the regular homeowner, we're on like a 200 by 100 lot, or 200 by 200, something like that. Carbon fiber shaft, very lightweight. All of the weight really is in the back here with the battery, and it's really not that heavy. It's the basic string trimmer. You bump it on the ground, the string comes out, cuts itself into the right length. Very long battery life with these 40 volt batteries. I'm running a 6 amp hour battery on here. The 4 amp hour battery come with it, with the charger. Just a very nice, powerful string trimmer that's going to cut the grass like I need it to. This thing is very surprising. I do like that there's a little safety switch there before you pull the trigger, before it takes off, because if you set it down in the wrong environment, maybe it bumps the trigger, but that little safety part keeps it from accidentally getting tripped on. It also has a low and a high switch, so if you need to go a little more power, you can give it more power. I'm giving it all she's got, Captain! There's a little switch there that does that on the side right there where your thumb's at. Overall, I'm very pleased with this so far. No complaints whatsoever. Again, with the 40 volt, I picked up this chainsaw because I've got a few bushes that died. I need to clear those out. I didn't have a chainsaw, so I picked this one up. It's a 40 volt. I went with the 14-inch bar. They have various lengths of bars. I think there was an 18-inch one I could have got. One thing I will note though, in store, I couldn't get any help in the store. I would have bought this in store day of when I saw it, but no people were available, and they got everything locked up now because thieves steal everything. That's very frustrating for somebody that just wants to buy something, pick it up, go pay for it and leave. But I did order it, come in like in a couple of days. This thing is really nice. Get you some bar and chain oil with it, and then go to cutting, and that's pretty much it. I'm also rocking the 40 volt battery on this one, 4 amp or 6 amp. It does come with an included tool change or a wrench there You know how old chainsaws, you might lose this right there to help you tighten that chain up or to change it out or anything like that. That's what that's for. Stores right in the handle. Man, it's pretty much just like any other chainsaw you've seen. Nice handguard on it, nice balance to it actually, no matter what position you got it in. Easy to use, works great. Using this chainsaw to cut down this old dead bush was shockingly fast. I didn't know it was gonna go that fast. I've used chainsaws before, clearing different trees, small trees, things like that. For what this costs, the convenience of the battery powered, not having to worry about pulling to get this thing started. Also the string trimmer, I'll never buy another gas powered either one of those again. I understand there's applications for the gas powered chainsaws for like clearing land or logging, etc. I'm not doing that. I'm just a homeowner who has a property that I want to kind of clean up small bushes here and there. This is perfect for that. I'm not saying you can't cut up firewood, etc. with this. I just don't. Just for what I'm using it for around the house, this is perfect for me. And yes, I bought this myself. What do we do with all these tools? Well, I'm not keeping them. I'm giving this fan away, the driver set away, the work light, and the Ryobi speed bench, plus over $1,000 more in tools and gift card prizes at an upcoming event called 731 Tools and Tailgates. This is happening April 27th, 2024 from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Franklin, Tennessee Woodcraft. All you have to do is show up. We're gonna have a cornhole tournament to win a nice prize. Other games are gonna be there. We're gonna have food, family-friendly fun. Come out and meet us. We're just gonna talk shop, have a good time fellowshipping together Saturday, April 27, 2024 at the Franklin, Tennessee Woodcraft. We're also gonna be doing one later in the year in June at Kansas City and also September in Houston, but we might also add more dates as the year goes on. There'll be a link in the description and the pinned comment to find out more details about 731 Tools and Tailgates. I hope to see you there. You gotta check out those 5 tools that the Ryobi haters will love too. Clicking that box gets you the big old virtual fist bump.